Wow, what a game yesterday. We saw so much, in that game. Final game at Old Trafford yesterday. Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 2, and Manchester United officially have got their third place secure as per usual. And let me tell you something for Freeman, like this game wasn't the best. I think that once we secured Champions League a couple of games ago, it may look like we were on the beach, because of the previous game here where it was 0-0. But this match here looks like it is just to make sure, man, that Bruno Fernandes got his assist record and to keep our distance here from Aston Villa to make sure that we get that third spot secured. And in that game, throughout that game, right, against Nottingham Forest, there were definitely moments that that we weren't doing enough combinations of passes because some of the passes and some of the combinations that we were doing, man, yeah, was some of it yeah was poor and some of it yeah was all right, but some of it yeah was poor, sluggish, and especially in the final third year where we were wasting so many chances. And Nottingham Forest, I tell you something, man, they were not too bad yesterday. You know, like yeah, if they were cutthroat in the final third, oh my days, fam, we would have been punished because there were times where we were split open. And this is something that we cannot do next season, especially when we have Champions League and the level of the Champions League, especially especially with the new format, is something we cannot be passive about, especially in the next, summer transfer window. And when we got the League Cup and when we have the FA Cup, especially now the next season, we're going to have those quick turnarounds, of games. We have to be ruthless. We have to be ruthless because this season we were struggling with the quick turnarounds, and in those games, you know, we are draws. In those games, I believe, if I can remember, because I remember the West Ham game, at the London Stadium, and us playing one game a week, for us in a way it was a blessing because our level at the moment is nowhere near the likes of Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG. We have to keep it a buck and say it how it is. And if we do not rectify the situation that we have here in the defense, in the midfield, and also in the attack, we're going to be ripped to shreds, in the Champions League. Especially, I'll say that especially in the Premier League because of the big turnaround. We saw that that was a weakness here for us, like that. So, so no disrespect meant to the players, the ones that we have in defense, but we have to bring in a new left back, a new centre back, a new right back, a couple of midfielders because all we have at the moment, since my man, we talk about my favorite Man United player, Casemiro. We'll talk about him later, but all we have at the moment here is Bruno Fernandes and Mainu. I love Mainu, like that. I've been an advocate for Mainu. And, and up front, we have nothing, We haven't got that experience that we need here for the Champions League, and, especially here with the players up front, they haven't got it stapled. They haven't got it like marked on that, like, they haven't got marked on yet for their starting spots. With Imbremo, Ahmad, Cunha, and Sheshko. Even though that I rate Ahmad, Cunha, and Sheshko due to their technical ability, but so you can see where I'm going with this, and we're not strong enough here for the Champions League. We're not, and yes, it is good that we could have secured, but can we compete at the highest level yet against the likes of the best club in Europe? Fam, we just have to just see. We just have to see because right now, we have to make sure, man, that we are up to that level here to compete, especially with the new format of the Champions League. Anyway, let's talk about the goals, man. Yeah, in this game yesterday, in the game against Nottingham Forest at Old Trafford. 1-0, Luke Shaw getting his first goal. Wow, man, since 2023 January. An early goal is what we needed. Bruno here whips the ball in, from Ahmad. It was one of those spams, like that, he normally does. Bruno Fernandes was going nowhere, but poor defending here by Nottingham Forest, and then at the end of it, Luke Shaw, got at the end of it, man, and made it 1-0. And then, man, yeah, we go into the second half, when 1-0, yeah, to 1-0, the pull one back, man, Nottingham Forest. Ahmad, you got barged off here by Elliot Anderson, and then Ahmad was chasing him, and then Elliot Anderson whips it into the box. A beautiful cross into the box, and Marato, if that's his name, scored. Now, it looked like it was offside, but Bruno Fernandes kept him onside, and they got the goal 1-0. And we got the goal immediately after that, by Cunha. This one, when it was 2-1, let's just talk about this a little bit, because this is going to go into next season. There is no way we could allow this kind of play, the strikeforce that we have, to continue. We cannot have these kind of games, right? In this game, because I'm talking about in Bremer. Now, the ball here was crossed in from the right, and then the ball bounces off Ibremo, hits his his arm and the side of his rib, I believe. And then obviously the ball got blocked, because obviously Mbeumo was trying to do a quick turn and hit the ball, but that got blocked, and then Cunha managed to put it in, and he scores. Now, when I first saw it first time, I thought it was handball. I literally thought it was handball. But then when I saw the replay, when the replay was shown, what I thought I saw was actually right. The ball hit his arm. No, sorry, it hit his thigh. Then it hit his arm. Then it hit his arm between the side of his ribs. Right. Now, I think that, look, let's just keep it 100. Those are the kind of ones that are given. That is handball blood. Yeah. Let's just keep it 100. No, let's just take those tinted glasses. Let's just take it off, man, and then see it how it is. It's handball blood. It's handball. But the reason why that in this kind of situation here, where that the referee is saying that it's accidental handball, is because the ball hit his thigh, and then it went onto his arm between his ribs as well, right? So, no, we see those ones that kind of given, and we see those that is not given, and and anyway, man, the goal stood, and then 3-1. Man United finally got their third goal, and Bruno Fernandes finally got his assist for Mbeumo. My days, like, finally he got his goal with Bruno Fernandes. Doing what he does, man. He was practically almost everywhere. In this game. He wasn't right on this time. He crossed it, low cross, and all Mbeumo had to do is just guide the ball here into that side of the net, which was empty, and he managed, man, to put it in, and and it went in. And Bruno Fernandes, man, getting and matching the record here with KDB and Thierry Henry. Let's just keep it a buck, right? Now, I have been critical here of Bruno Fernandes because of the times here where he just spams the ball left, right, and center. And he is not my favorite player. But to get 20 assists You got to applaud him, yeah, for that form and dedication despite his style of play and the way that he plays. Now, Bruno Fernandes, man, reaching 20 assists, right, in a season. Now, whatever that you think of, man, doesn't matter if you're a fan or not, biased or non-biased. For me, yeah, who have been, playing football and doing football, yeah, for quite some time, yeah, outside of this, it's not easy to achieve. It's not easy to achieve, right? And despite, that Man United, everything that Man United does go through Bruno Fernandes. From open play, yeah, from set pieces. You gotta hand it to him to actually take that the captain armband, and to take that pressure. Even though the stuff we've been saying that he's in the pub with Neymar, no, fam, put that to one side. I don't even want to talk about that because Neymar, he's levels above you levels above when it comes to technical ability, the way he's able to glide, take one-on-one, even to score goals. And Bruno Fernandes' technical ability is nowhere near Neymar's. Is nowhere near Lamine Yamal, nowhere near Ahmad. Like that. Nowhere near the best players in the world. But well done to Bruno Fernandes. Well done to him because, like I said, that's not easy to do. And to actually, man, to have that kind of skill to able, man, to put the ball in to the likes of Casemiro, like I said, my favorite United player, especially, yeah, how good Casemiro is with his head. Harry Maguire, De Ligt before he had his back injury. So, it takes a level of skill, man, to deliver a ball like that. It does. And instead of him spamming it left, right, and center like how it was under Amram, and for Michael Carrick, to give the entire team, including Bruno Fernandes, something simple for him to follow and for him to be disciplined is something that we have been screaming for a long time. I've been saying this, that make it simple. Make the system complement the players, not the other way around. And we're seeing that. The ones there, we are seeing that. And that is what we've been asking for a long time. And Amram, for what he did here to make Bruno Fernandes like a spamming master. Like that, like an annoying spider, just trying to do anything, everything, without a clear goal. What was the problem? And now look, Michael Carrick stabilized it with Steve Holland and the backroom staff. Well done, like that. Well done, because for Michael Carrick, to take up the task, and also for Bruno Fernandes to take up a shorter task. Well done. But at the same time, in that game, Bruno Fernandes, man, should have had 21 assists, 22 assists in that game. Because when Bruno Fernandes had, especially, we'll talk about that. Because, his assists for the 20 assists. Because in this game, when he got the assist to match the record, right, he's starting to shoot now. And we were like, and those were the times, because I remember Bremer was free at one point. He could have squared it. But he squared it to Cunha, I think it was. Or probably, no. Actually, I think he was trying to take a shot, I think probably I'm confused with another chance. I think it was with Dalot. And Dalot hit the posts. There were times where Bruno Fernandes would have had 21, 22 assists in this game. But, brother, there were woeful, absolute woeful, in terms of the likes of, the players who couldn't able to finish their dinner. Like that. And also in Bremer hitting the post as well. And, yeah. Anyway, yeah. We spoke about Bruno Fernandes, man, 20 assists. So, yeah, man, absolutely cool stuff. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, 3-2, Nottingham Forest, pull one back, Gibbs White, what a player. Elliot Anderson, I've been talking about Elliot Anderson, to the man, to my friends off screen, and as well as Gibbs White, man. And what a combo them man are. Elliot Anderson, looked like as if he was trying to whip the ball in the box, but he actually whipped it to Gibbs White, and first time whipped Gibbs White with his weaker foot, side foot, into the bottom corner. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And I tell you what, something for free, man. I have to say that that I've been saying this, that Elliot Anderson is one player that the people at the top, from Man United, man, they have to look at Elliot Anderson and probably look at Gibbs White, blood. They have to do that. Anyways, speaking about Casemiro with his heading ability from Bruno Fernandes, with Casemiro. I didn't want this guy to go. What a player, Casemiro, man. And we cannot replace him. His experience will be irreplaceable. So valuable. And world-class player Casemiro, post-Ferguson, I believe that, there were only a couple of world-class players we had at Man United, and Casemiro is one of them, blood. It's not easy to have that kind of world-class player in your club, watching him, match in and match out, an able man to give everything. And to see that kind of player in that level go, it is going to hurt, and it's going to hurt the team, because his experience, Casemiro, he is the backbone of this team with Bruno Fernandes. You need somebody that, when you're playing up front, when you look back, you need someone that you can trust and say, yes, we got man like Casemiro. And also Casemiro and Mainu, those two players that I've been advocate for, they should look back, and they should have experience at the back as well as the goalkeeper, because without the confidence, when you look back, in the midfield, looking at the back of the defense, and then also the defense looking at the goalkeeper, you won't have trust in your team. And what happens is that you overdo your job instead of doing your job. And this is what man is talking about. And I forgot how many times, this guy saved us. Got a standing ovation here from the home crowd. And dragging United to get goal, the headed goal, the leadership with the captain armband, the assist, especially the one year with the no-look pass assist this season. The defensive contributions, to even the tactic to get the yellow card, because there are times where you just need IQ to say, no, I'm going to take it for the team. You need that. I've run out of words, man, to describe, man, my favorite United player, Casemiro. Legend of the game. What a player. What a player for Real Madrid. Champions Leagues after Champions Leagues. And what a player, what a servant year for Man United. And this is why I never judged Casemiro as soon as he came into the club. Because, he was 30 when he came. Obviously, 70 million, I believe. And, fam, he had nothing to prove. Coming to Man United, man, especially with that price tag, like I said before, man. In the beginning, it was sticky. But it was sticky because of the managers that we had at that time. Because they didn't understand his game. Until Michael Carrick, who have also played as a midfielder in his time at Man United, simplified things for everyone, including Casemiro. And he managed here to get the best out of Casemiro. As he should. And it was even bookier when people coming out, and we know who said this, saying some foolishness, saying that leave football before football leaves you. That's the thing. You don't judge just by first couple of games, the first season. Nah, let man play and see where you end up. This is like young players. People these days, they elevate young players and they have done nothing in the game. They haven't even won a trophy. They haven't even won, the biggest honors, and yet people say, oh, he's the next this, he's the next that, or less of that. Anyway, man, good luck trying to find a replacement for Casemiro, because it's not going to be easy to find someone like that who can replace a man like Casemiro on the pitch. And I remember people going out with deficiencies. Well, next season, you will see what I've been advocating for a very long time about Casemiro. What will be missing. Like, not having Casemiro with us in the Champions League, it will send signals across the club, across the team. Casemiro in the Champions League, not having him with us in the Champions League, I said this in my previous videos, not having someone like him is going to be difficult. His experience will be so vital and it's going to be missed. And talking about next season, that Casemiro won't be with us, man, and and he managed to talk to the home crowd. He's saying that he said that it's because of the fans, and he loves the fans, and he loves Manchester United, right? Carrick, to make things simple, especially now he's set to be the permanent manager for next season. We just have to see, because I believe right now the club, they're trying to get things organized. They're trying to get things patterned for the summer transfer window, in defense, in midfield, and attack. And we should look in the likes of Elliot Anderson, Bolton, Belabra, Bruno G. I love Bruno G. One of my favorite players out there. Too many. Anyway, we will all take him. I'll take him, especially with the situation that's happened at Real Madrid with Valverde. Lewis Hall, for left back, that would be fantastic as well. And also we've been hearing that they're looking to bring in an experienced striker. So let's just see about that. And guys, tell me in the comment section below of other players that Man United are looking at, because I'm pretty much sure there are more than what I just listed down just now. Wow, man. And Kobe played well in this game. I've been an advocate for him for a long time. And also Casemiro, and I'm so happy the way things have turned out for both, man, for both of them, especially Mainu. People don't see what Mainu brings. It's just simplifying things on the pitch. Make pass and move, carry the ball. And wow, man, and wow. Anyways, wow, man. Carrick, he done his 10-year this season. Proper class act, especially how he did when he was talking to the crowd, after Casemiro, and also Bruno Fernandes getting his Fremi for matching that assist record with Kevin De Bruyne and Thierry Henry. Carrick, proper class act. 11 wins out of 16, taken over from Amorim. People are going to moan and find negative about Michael Carrick, but less of that. Let man cook. Let man just do his thing. Let's see for next season. This will Carrick can only succeed by the recruitment. The ones there. It can only happen if Man United, the board, can able to elevate this team to Champions League level. Without that, obviously, he's doomed to fail if the recruitment doesn't match that. This is what man is trying to say. Anyway, and like I said before, we can't please anyone. We can't please everybody. Anyway, our last game is against Brighton away. Game week 38 on Sunday, 4 p.m. the last match. And ultimately, I'm looking at this season and I'm going. It started off really, really bad. With Amorim. Michael Carrick came in, he stabilized everything. And he deserves, man, to get the permanent job, with what he did, especially when he's the legend of the game and people, have PTSD of him because he was with Ollie, in the first thing, instead of taking those tinted glasses off and see how it is and be like, look, let's just see what will happen. Obviously, we would like you to bring the Bournemouth manager in, Oriola, or someone big, but he deserves that chance. Now obviously it's not it hasn't been announced yet formally and officially by the club, but I think it will be announced soon. That Carrick, man, will be the permanent head coach and the permanent manager, like that. But this is fully deserved, and we now have to march on to next season. And like I said before, the board have to do their job. Put the money where the mouth is and do your thing, because you've been paid here for a reason. So do it. Bring in the best, especially Premier League proven players. I'm excited here for next season already, and also what man you bring to match the levels here of the Champions League, and as well to challenge here for the top of the Premier League. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section below, people. Like that, man, with Michael Carrick and for the next season, like that. Anyways, Man United, beat Nottingham Forest, man, 3-2, like that. Anyways, take care of yourself. Bless. Peace. See you guys then.